welcome in everyone to Barely Educated. We are here to preview the Texans, Bears-Texans, Sunday Night Football. I am Mark, here as always with Chris. Chris, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Wednesday is not a day we've recorded often, so there's a slightly different vibe, I guess, to because I gotta get back to work when we're done, which feels not right, but that's okay. I'm glad to be here. Nice,
Yeah, usually we
nice
do
change of pace.
Friday, but I got family in town and Friday's way too complicated when we could both just do Wednesday. I
Mm-hmm.
do prefer football wise to do it Friday because you get more practice week,
Yeah.
more injury updates. But we did have the one big injury news since we last talked, and
Mm.
that is that Davis Jones hurt Rome Odunze,
Miss Clumsy.
Oh my gosh.
and he took so they Flus is like asked on Monday, standard meeting with the media, right? How DJ Moore and Keenan Allen came out of the game, and he's like, "Oh, they're fine. Rome's getting an MRI," and everyone's like, "What?" I just casually drops that in, which causes a panic, of course. And I'm like, "We can't have nice things."
No.
And
Oh, is
my
it?
$20 Chinese-made stitched Rome Odunze jersey gets in that day, and I'm
Oh
like, I
no.
jinxed him."
Well, maybe it was just like your normal everyday MRI. Not one of those fancy MRIs.
Oh, MRIs are the worst. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy,
Yeah.
except for maybe Aaron Rodgers. But man, then you find out today, which is why I wanted to wait till now. We're recording this at like 2:15 or whatever. He's day to day. And of course, news broke Monday that it was just a sprain. They didn't think it was anything crazy. And he's day to day. So we do at least got that much injury news. Keenan Allen is being held out today as well. So, like, he's got that foot thing,
Yeah,
but I think that's
heel.
going to be a
Yeah.
regular thing. We better all just get used to him being one of those old guys that barely practices that
Uh,
good teams always seem to have one or two of.
yeah.
Like the Bosa brothers, they haven't actually practiced in like 6 years or whatever. Remember when Khalil Mack would never practice?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do.
He didn't need practice. It's fine. I suppose it's fine. I'm a little worried though with the receiver room being a little thin this week. The passing game stunk against the
Stunk.
Titans, and you sure would like them to get some more reps, but it's too early to panic. The main news is we dodged whatever that bullet was with Rome. Do you want him to play this week?
Not if he's
He's day to
limping.
day.
Yeah, if it's an MCL day to day, no, I want him at least a week off to heal it.
Yeah, I'm
It,
with you.
it, it doesn't sound like it's that bad. Like it's not a grade 2 or 3, thank goodness. It must be that
This
first
is
one.
best case scenario once he
Yeah,
found out he was getting an MRI.
as far as knee injuries go, yeah. And
Yeah,
clearly,
but
Jordan Love's was worse. Same injury. His must have been a
yeah.
lot worse.
Well, his had the pop and the twist, and Rome's like, oh, and then he played one more play, and then he limped off. And Sunday, he met the media and was fine, like took post game questions, and then Monday he woke up and it was hurting, so they got an MRI. So
Mm.
to be fair, the Bears seem to be playing this cautious. This is not the week I would push it, though. It is
Hmm.
way too early in the season, and is way, way, way too early in this guy's career
Right.
to push it with a knee injury. I also think this might be, depending on how you look at the Lions, who Fleece has done pretty well against, this is maybe your second toughest game after the 49ers.
Mm.
Which is to say, I don't know that Roma Dunze at this stage in his career is the difference between a win or a loss this week. So just all that adds up to don't push it.
I like it. That's a 3 really good points there. Yeah, I just to be cautious, I would not want him to play. But you're absolutely right that it's week 2 of his first year. They're down or they're 6 point underdogs as it is. So yeah, he's not going to be the difference. I agree. Let him rest. And plus, DJ
Yep.
Moore looked good. Well, once he proved to be okay, he looked good. Keenan's just got to catch the ball. They'll still be better at wide receiver than they have been the last couple of years with those two.
Right. And it's just, this was a game when the schedule came out, and I was like, oh, they better start 1-0 because otherwise it looks like they're going to be 0-2. This is a tough Texans team.
Hmm.
Like, it really is a very good opponent. A young team on the rise, won a playoff game last year, really good young quarterback. A lot of people think by the end of the year he's top 5 in the league.
Could be.
Bunch of weapons, stud left tackle. They're not going to give you 14 points of defensive and
Nope.
special teams touchdowns.
No,
That would
they're not.
be extraordinarily surprising. So I wouldn't push it with Rome against this opponent. I wouldn't push it, period, at his age and all the years of good football you want to get out of him yet.
Exactly.
It just would be reckless. So I kind of doubt he plays. I feel like he doesn't play this week. We see how he responds next week, maybe around this time, maybe Thursday, whatever. We start to get a feel for if he's playing. Call that game 50-50. And if it's just a grade 1, then I would say at minimum he's maybe back for the Rams, maybe back for the Colts, though.
Yeah, that's
back for the Rams,
3-4 weeks. That sounds good. If they're saying 4 to 6 for Jordan Love with a grade 2.
2 to 3 is kind of where I'm at with Rome then, right?
Yeah.
Don't push it
Sounds
this
right to
week.
me.
See how he is next week. Maybe that's a coin toss, and then see how that goes. But okay, so we have a few things to get to. We have a Teichler hot take.
Yes, sir.
We have decided the meatball moments are better in the post game because we'll have watched a game. And
Did
we
we do
have
one?
whatever I called it last year. I don't remember if we did it. We probably forgot. You got a meatball moment? Did we do the meatball moment?
I got a couple
Was it
I
the
can
blocked
pick
punt
from.
or the Stevenson interception?
Yeah, it's probably that Stevenson interception for me.
Can I do a meatball moment of the all 22 watching Shelton whiff a block and then put both arms out like he's a bird just in case anyone even happened to run into his arms?
Oh my gosh.
That was Mustafa Dancing Bear bad. Oof.
Yeah, I got a good chuckle when you sent that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then we have I guess let's start with this and then did we do the meatball moments? I don't know. What did I call it last year when we'd come back to the game midweek and I'd be like, here's our post-game cleanup or whatever the heck I called it. What did we call it?
I don't remember. It's been too long.
I had a thing. Anyway, whatever that thing is.
The thing. Yeah, let's do the thing.
The tackles in pass pro were good.
Yes.
They were not as good in the run game. And I think I had said it was one of Wright's worst games, but actually in the All-22 on the pass pro, he was basically fine, which is good because that's his main job still. I'd like to see the run game better everywhere. And then the interior, as everybody knows, is just bad, period. But I stand by the fact that that might have been Tevin Jenkins' worst game as a pro.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I've seen other people share that same sentiment online. So if that's the floor,
frustration with,
I would say if that's the floor, then it'll only get better. Right? Please?
Well, I mean, hopefully, do they play another pair of tackles this good? I mean, Sweat looked awesome for the
That's
Titans.
another good
If he's
point.
that good, they're going to give a lot of teams problems.
That's another good point about just how good the Texans tackles were on the defensive line, and will they face another team like that? That's what you meant, right?
We'll
Is that what
see.
you were saying?
Yeah, those two guys
Yeah.
dominated the Bears. Are there another pair of tackles on the schedule that good?
San Francisco?
Individual one, yes. But both? I don't know about both. Depends if Sweat keeps playing like that. That's a heck of a pair. The other thing that drove me crazy, though, about this game that I wanted to circle back to real quick, and maybe it's just the offense figuring itself out with a new coordinator and everything, but the personnel usage made no sense. And I remember watching it thinking, where's Cole Kmet? And then when you see the snap counts, he's on the field like half as much as Gerald Everett. Look, Gerald Everett's your move tight end. I don't know if he moves that well anymore. Stop it. Cole Kmet is a good all-around player. Everett's your guy when you want to run 12. He's not the guy that you constantly have out there.
Right.
They got that totally backwards right now. And when Kmet is out there, you also have the advantage of teams have less of an idea if it's a run or a pass. That's one example of the usage. Another one is rotating right guards. This has been a story the entire training camp. If you're rotating them, they both stink. You're going to have to pick one because they need at least the continuity, right? Doesn't every O-line coach ever
talk
nonstop about continuity?
That's the most important thing. Yep.
If they're not healthy, then find one that is. It's already annoying me. The whole Nate Davis came out after 18 plays. He's on the bike. Oh, he's back in. Oh, nope. Now it's Ryan Bates. Like, it's just, right. Okay, we got two right guards, right? Hey, right. You know, it's like, no, you have none. Pick one.
Yeah, it's really frustrating that our GM, who is an offensive lineman, has not prioritized that in 4 years, 3 years, 3 years.
Well,
It's
not the interior. Well, I
well,
don't know. Well, sort of. I think he's not prioritized center.
mm-hmm.
I think the Nate Davis contract was prioritizing guard. I think the Darnell Wright pick is a top 10 pick on a tackle, but center, he just completely ignores. And there are
Yeah,
people that
for three
do O
years now.
line coaching for a living, and those kind of guys that like watch the tape on Twitter and stuff like that, that are like, center might have become the second most important on the line. It's like, and ours are always terrible. And man, it did kill the offense.
It sure did, and it makes sense. The play starts there. The center's the first guy touching
And
the
they
ball. That's where
call
the
out the
play begins.
protections.
Right. Yeah, that shouldn't be revelatory of how important center is, but apparently so.
They just missed too many blocks in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. Shout out to Tyreek Stevenson in happier news.
Mm-hmm.
NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yep.
I think it should have
Good
gone to Jalen Johnson, but that's, I'm happy a Bear got it.
boy. Jalen's so good. He's
Did you see the numbers? The rating against him was a 2. He allowed -1 yard and had an interception. I'm like reading this and I'm like, 2 seems kind of high.
like what? This is an outrage, man. Thank you, Ryan Pace, for Jalen Johnson. Oh, you're welcome.
The one time he got beat, the ball was terrible and he almost intercepted it.
Mm-hmm.
Ridley had to step on it, but man, he's good. Did you see his Instagram story?
No, I did not.
I'll have to edit it barely. He's like, I told you I ain't gonna let that Blake fly. Y'all got a travel ban or something like that. Like, no air yards on him.
Yeah.
It's funny. He's tremendous though. Man, that secondary is cooking. That secondary could keep him in just about any matchup.
Yeah.
Or back seven, to be fair. Let's add the 2 linebackers. In nickel, you'd be hard pressed to find a deeper roster. We don't have the tons of stars, but there's no glaring weakness in nickel at the back end.
I was nervous in that second quarter when they, giving up that 3rd and 15, and then the touchdown that, ironically, Stevenson was right there but missed. Glad he bounced back with the pick 6 later. But
20-something% chance to catch that is the metric for that pass. It was
Yeah.
crazy. They only completed that touchdown because it was a bad throw. And the tight end made a great adjustment. Otherwise, he basically throws it right to Stevenson. Wild play.
I didn't see a close up on it. It was pretty, it was to the far corner of the end zone, so it was hard to for me to see what exactly happened there. But
that was good coverage, is the point I'm trying to make.
Gotcha.
One of his worst plays was good coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, well, I don't know that we would need to rehash much else from that game, but I always do want to return to it midweek just to
after further review. That's what you called it.
That's right. After further review. Thank you. Look at you pulling that from the archives.
Wow. It just came
well
to me.
Done. Well, on that note, we should get to the Teichler hot take because you're already on fire.
All right. Yes, the Bears won last week, but the franchise quarterback, or at least the guy we hope is the franchise quarterback, did not look particularly good. Of course, his first game as a pro, every rookie's going to have some ups and downs, and as we've heard on the score repeatedly, development is non-linear, so we're gonna expect some of that. Not surprised when we see it, but there was just so little to hang our hats on from that game as far as Caleb Williams' play goes. That being said, now that he got a taste of the speed of the NFL game and he'll be a little less amped next week, I expect Caleb Williams to have a significantly better game, even though the Bears are most likely going to lose. And big picture, that's going to be better for the franchise going forward. So, my hot take is that we have a better Caleb Williams in a Bears loss this Sunday night.
Okay, I agree with you. I'm not convinced it's a hot take.
I know.
Teichler take.
I had
tepid take.
I had two fewer days to cook it up. Normally by Friday.
Oh, okay.
Can I blame that?
It needed more time in the oven.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's already people saying, "Oh, look, he's a bust now too," and Where's this generational talent? And I know it's the fringes and it's the people that don't matter, but it
Here, can I
still
add something
irritates
that
me.
makes it a hot take real quick?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Help me
here,
out.
here, let's edit it into a hot take.
Okay.
If after one game you think there is a definitive conclusion to draw about Caleb Williams, you're a moron.
Oh,
There,
I
now
like
it's a
it.
hot
Okay,
take.
there we go. That's better.
There.
Yes. Mhm.
Co-signed.
Thank
No,
you.
I honestly here's a hot take. If Caleb Williams looks better and they lose this game, I'll probably feel better Monday morning than I did this week.
Yes, I agree.
Like if Caleb looks good and they lose, I'll be like, okay, we're cool. It's fine because it's the big picture.
I had
But I'm
two.
really glad they won because good Lord, this week would be rough if they had lost and
Yes.
the offense looked like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had too many people on my timeline saying they won. That's all that matters, and I'm like, no, no, that's not all that matters. Not with this guy at this time. Yeah, it's
I
great that they
honestly don't know if
won.
there's another. Is there another win on the schedule with that kind of offensive performance? Carolina, maybe. I
Oh
mean,
gosh, I hope so.
I know it's like the Bears thing, but we've got to quit relying
Hmm.
on a model for the sport that is at
Yep.
best a wild card ceiling.
Yeah, and
I mean, I
if
want the D to be good and the special teams to be good, but no offensive touchdowns is itself offensive.
yeah,
And
that's
by the
a
way, shout out to former student Tim,
former student too.
who's roots for the Bears in the NFC and the Steelers in the AFC, which makes for quite the dilemma at quarterback at the moment, which is funny. And managed to go 2-0 this Sunday without either team scoring an offensive touchdown.
Play
I
the
don't think the
lottery, my
Steelers
friend.
scored one at all. It was 6 field goals, right?
Oh, is that what it was? Oh man.
That's great.
Uh,
It was 18-10, I think. Yeah,
oh,
that is
Justin.
just too funny.
Yeah. Have fun with that, Tim.
Shut up, Tim.
Rooting for those
But
two
hey, the
offenses.
Pittsburgh
Yeah.
D looks good. So does the Bears
Always,
D.
always
I
does.
just want it to change. I just want to know how to do the forward pass.
Hmm.
Why is that so hard for this franchise? We're
It's
gonna get there.
uncanny.
We're gonna get there.
We are, and
They're gonna do it.
Caleb did make some great throws Sunday. There were just too many head scratchers and frustrate, like the overthrows were. But man, they passed him more on the near side.
The only
where,
time he overthrew were the deep shots, and otherwise everything was low, so it couldn't be picked.
Hmm.
And he
Yeah.
did a good job not turning it over. It's one reason they won.
Yep. Yep.
But I think I'm not worried about him. I am still worried about what they might be coaching him to do. It's too early. It's too early. But Flus wanting every drive to end with a kick, that kind of stuff. He
Yeah.
said that on Hard Knocks. It's like, I get it. Turnovers kill you. But man, please, as I said before, do not put a governor on this kid. You did not draft him number 1 to make him a game manager. That's okay the first couple weeks. First month or two, even maybe. You cannot win a Super Bowl, even with this elite defense, if he's got 90 yards a game.
Yeah.
You can't do it this year. You can't do it next year. I'm not talking about a Super Bowl as realistic this year. I'm just saying, if our eyes are still on the prize, we're going to have to let him make some mistakes and get calibrated and get better. And we're going to have to be aggressive sometimes. But Bliss is a great defensive play caller. The adjustments they made at the half Rex.
They were fantastic. Yeah.
So
Different pressures
he does
dialed
that
up
well.
and getting in there. Did you see the
Extending the ends, having the ends go out wide
Uh-huh.
to take away the outside zone. That was great. Good play
pressure
caller on that side of the ball.
at the right times too? Like the Levis, the pick six. Man, there were defenders coming in from every angle at him. Exactly what a blitz like that is supposed to do. Just panic the quarterback, make him make a dumb mistake, and that's what happened. So yeah, kudos to Flus on those adjustments. Just have the team ready in the first quarter, please.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Please.
And let him be aggressive. I think they will. I'm not panicking on it yet, but when I hear stuff like we want every drive to end with a kick, it's like unrealistic. Again, interceptions down the field are not that devastating. Ones where you're getting sacked and then you flip it out with a weird motion and then do the cobra afterwards, those are bad. Those are bad.
Yes, they are. Noted.
Oh man, I saw a tweet. It's like Will Levis is an interesting, exciting young quarterback who's also dumb as a sack of hammers or something like that.
Man. Ouch.
Okay, so to the Texans, Sunday
Hmm.
Night Football. From Kevin Fishbane. The Bears have lost 9 Sunday Night Football games in a row. Road games. Sorry, Sunday night road games in a row.
Ooh, that's bad.
Their last win in that scenario 10 years ago this weekend when they beat the Niners to open Levi's Stadium.
I remember that.
Otherwise, their last just any old Sunday Night Football win, that clinic that the defense put on against the Rams in 2018.
Oh,
They've
that's a
lost
good one.
7 straight Sunday night games overall.
Yikes. I believe I
And
watched that game at
that's
your
probably
house
not
in
changing.
Fort Worth.
I think so.
Yeah.
We thought they broke the Rams.
We did, yeah. Yeah, I
Well,
don't
they
see
did
it.
kind of, because then they got rid of Goff that offseason, and the Patriots used that game plan to beat them in the Super Bowl.
That's true. You're welcome, Patriots. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that that changes tonight. But I mean, the Bears could play well and still lose. I mean, that's just testament to the Texans. And if it's a loss like that, if it's like a 31-24 or 31-27, something like that, okay, maybe I would have
Yeah.
liked fewer points on that defense. But I mean, if it's competitive, I'd say okay, week 2, the rookie quarterback, I'll take that.
I think it's just exceedingly unlikely after what we saw last week that the Bears go in there and they're all of a sudden clicking on offense against another good defense
Hmm.
that is also going to bring a good offense to the game. So it's like I think while the Bears are figuring things out on the offensive side of the ball, they're gonna have a hard time against good QBs.
Hmm.
And this is obviously one of them. And I really like the way Houston's roster has come together. I think they're well coached as well. Love their play caller on the road. But I gotta say though, all that said, and I do think the Texans beat them.
Hmm.
I love games where you don't feel like you have much to lose.
Yeah.
You watch them, and you're like, yeah, we know the Texans are a year ahead of the Bears in the rebuild. And we know they're really good. Hey, put up a fight. Just don't get beat 42-10 or whatever the Chiefs game was last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, remember
Yeah.
when we would play the Lions when they were hapless and it would be like 21-16 in the whole game? You were like, I hate this team. Why are we not blowing out the Lions? It felt like there was no good outcome besides blowing them out. This is like the opposite to me. And I know that may sound defeated, but I like games where you go in and you're not like I felt like as silly as it is, week 1 felt like a must win because the Texans were next on the schedule. And that's tough to enjoy when you're down 17 zip. This
Yeah.
game, it's like house money, and you just hope the offense looks better. And if the defense plays like it did, then you've got a chance.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
And
I
if you
don't mean
lose, you're 1-1, and you're going to join 20 other teams with that record.
I don't mean to say that the Bears couldn't win this game. I just yeah. So and the 6 point difference is indicative of that. But boy, that'd be glorious if they could somehow pull it off.
Yep. And usually at this point, I will read off some of the numbers of the units going against each other. But in week 2, it doesn't seem even that worthwhile. Plus, I don't want to look at the Bears' offensive stats again. So we all know that the Texans played a really good game. They also ran the ball really well, and that'll be interesting to see if the Bears can shut that down. If not, that makes the task that much tougher.
Hmm.
But Bears wearing the orange jerseys and helmet.
Oh, I don't like the orange.
See, I love orange. It's like one of
Do
my
you?
favorite colors, but I like it as an accent. What I hate is the jersey and the helmet together.
That's what it is for me too. Yeah. If it was the orange jersey with the navy helmet, that's okay. I don't like the orange on orange.
It's just too much. Something looks weird about it,
It's very
but
orangey.
whatever. It's just too. What is the orange creamsicle?
Yeah. White pants though,
Ooh,
right? Like they
kids.
don't have orange pants,
Yeah.
do
No, they're not doing the full Bengal,
they? Okay.
and the Bengals got beat wearing that. Joke about that again.
Bengals got beat by
Oh.
the Patriots. Holy moly.
Crazy.
That's a fun story. Yeah. All right, picks.
Yeah, so let me pull up the other schedule. So I've got the Texans beating the Bears. I think the offense will show better. I don't think you're going to get a defense or special teams touchdown against a team as sound as the Texans, but I think the Texans win something like 27-20, which will have us all feeling a little bit better about the offense, even though it's not great to score 20. It's respectable against a good team on the road. Caleb will look a little better, or a lot better, perhaps, and just they'll start working out the kinks in the system. But they're still not ready to win this game.
Yeah. I'm going to say the Texans win, but I'm going to have the Bears cover 23-17.
Okay,
That's my
so we
pick.
got a little closer,
Mm-hmm.
a little uglier. Okay, weird game here. I feel like it's kind of weird. I'll probably be watching this one. Indianapolis at Green Bay. The Packers are saying that they're starting Malik Willis.
Well, they have to, right?
Indy favored by 3.5 with the game in Green Bay. Safe to
Oh,
say Vegas not super optimistic about Malik Willis starting
nope.
quarterback.
No, they are not. Which probably, with Matt LaFleur, who definitely seems to be a good coach, watch him get Willis to throw 3 TDs and 275 yards.
I think he's their big
But
advantage, man. I think some of the Jordan Love stuff is more like the Matt LaFleur stuff.
I
Those
agree.
guys are just running free
I'm
all
with
the
you.
time. But I
Well,
still think
Richard,
you'd be crazy to pick Willis in this situation.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just can't.
Richardson.
Give me the Colts, but the Packers keep it obnoxiously close.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Richardson had some good throws last week.
He was crazy. He had a 60-something yard touchdown and a 50-something yard touchdown, but only completed 9 passes. He's
Like
so
I,
entertaining. I'm excited to be able to just watch whatever the Anthony Richardson experiences any given week.
like I said, some good throws.
Yeah, I mean that 60-yard is one of the craziest things you'll ever
Yeah,
see. He
that was
stumbles and still
beautiful.
throws it 60 yards in the air.
That was beautiful.
Nuts. All right,
Yarr.
this is a fun match, although the line's actually bigger than I expected. Tampa Bay, who looked really good, but Washington has no defense, but still they looked really good. At Detroit. Detroit by 7. I mean, yes, Detroit's better, but 7
Yeah.
just seems like a big number for a team that went to the playoffs last year. Didn't Tampa go to the playoffs?
They did. Are they?
They lose to the Rams, right?
And
I think they'll keep it closer than 7, but I think Detroit still wins. But I just thought that was kind of crazy as a line.
yeah, and it seems like what's his name? Quarterback from Oklahoma. Geez, what's his name?
Oh, Baker?
Baker Mayfield. Thank you. I don't know why my mind just blanked on him, but
Are you stupid or something?
he looks like it was just one game, but he looks like he picked up where he left off last year, and he really seemed to
Sure
turn
does.
his career trajectory around.
I
last
had
year.
the best statistical day of any of the quarterbacks, in all honesty. It's kind of wild. Over under is 51. That's the biggest number of the week. So I bring that up just to say Vegas expects a shootout.
Yeah. Well, and I like Detroit in that case. I think they got more weapons. Boy, Montgomery and Gibbs, man, that's a deadly one.
And that line can flat out run block.
Uh-huh. You
Well,
remember
they're
us?
just a good line in general. That's the strength of the team.
Do you remember all the talking about what are the Lions doing drafting Gibbs in the first round? Well, maybe it was the right call after all.
Okay, the other division game. Niners at Minnesota. Niners favored by 6. Are you buying it's a Sam Darnold revenge game?
No, he did. He looked way
cup of tea with San Francisco. He did look pretty good though.
He looked way better than I expected. He had a good game, but no, I think San Francisco's just too powerful, top to bottom.
We just saw what they did Monday without McCaffrey.
Without McCaffrey, yeah, their offense didn't skip a beat. What's his name?
Can you name the running back?
He had like what 130 yards almost rushing, something like that. They just
Jordan
don't miss
Mason, 147 on 28 carries.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
pretty darn
he got
good.
28 carries. Also, he's from where I live in Gallatin, Tennessee.
Oh, very nice.
Shout out to Jordan. Great game. Way to beat the Rodgers-led Jets that looked a little bit rusty since,
It was beautiful.
Well, it had been a while.
I think he's an absolute bum.
Yeah, I think the Niners are just too good to, it's the NFL, but beyond that, it would be a crazy upset. Give me the Niners. I think they probably beat them by like 10. They're just good. If they can beat the Jets like that, they shouldn't have that much trouble with Minnesota.
Right.
Do you want to do the Thursday game? It's a good matchup.
Yeah, it's Bills and what do we got? Who is it?
Buffalo at Miami.
Oh, that is a good one. Yeah. Allen's playing, right? He was cleared to play.
Yeah, I think he's cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were like he might have. I remember Sunday they were talking about whether he broke something on his left hand, but he didn't
Yeah.
care about his left hand was the joke. It's like fair. It sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that like hopefully we're out of the era where so many of the Thursday games are just trash.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the concept still kind of bothers me for player safety.
Yeah,
That's a good
absolutely.
matchup. It's pretty easy to say, oh, I'll definitely sit down and watch that,
Yeah, not like one of
I'll
those
take
Browns Jaguars games from 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, right. And or like where Al Michaels looks like he's hitting the bottle early, because he's just bored. I want to take Buffalo because I just think the whole Josh Allen thing is so fun, and
It is fun.
they're kind of in the like, yeah, someone beats them for the division, then I'll listen. But I picked Miami to win the division just to be different from you, so I guess I have to pick Miami here.
You don't have
Like they
to,
probably have to
but
beat the Bills at home to realistically win the division. So I'm just going to be consistently dumb and pick them anyway.
okay, all right. No, I
Go
like.
Dolphins, I guess.
All right, well, I'm not going to go against Buffalo, especially because Josh Allen is my fantasy quarterback this year. He led Chris Tomlin's fifth chord into a victory in week 1, my friend.
So does that mean you don't have a fantasy team if it's named Chris Tomlin's fifth chord? 'Cause he doesn't have a fifth chord, right?
Hey! That
And
is the joke,
honorary
my friend.
former student Tim
Former
preview. Pittsburgh, also known as the checking in on Justin Fields preview.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh at Denver. Denver gets 3 points, so Pittsburgh favored by 3 on the road. I think we're going to be deprived of a Russell Wilson revenge game.
We are deprived of it. Fields is starting, I read. So, yeah. Poor Russell. But, yeah, I like
Give me
Pittsburgh.
that 51% and bump that thing up to a 4th-round pick. Let's go, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly. That helps the Bears. Absolutely.
And I like Justin. I want him to be able to stick around for a while. So
I know,
sure,
me
keep starting
too.
him.
I really, really want him to do well. He's just a good kid. Yeah. I like Pittsburgh. Bo Nix looked okay. I mean, all the rookie quarterbacks looked like rookie
Pretty
quarterbacks
bad.
last week.
He had the most turnovers out of any of them.
He did. Had a good touchdown scramble, though. He's got a good ball, I think.
Yeah.
Like, he's got good arm strength. But not against Pittsburgh.
But he doesn't use it. It's all like 3-yard throws. There's no way Pittsburgh's defense gets carved up by this guy.
Correct.
Unless
Agreed.
somebody gets hurt.
Yeah. So Tim will be celebrating 2 wins.
It's a game where the QB's running is the more interesting thing on both sides, which is kind of weird.
We know what that's like. Yeah.
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 All right. Well, I guess that's all I got.
All right.
It's sad. I came into this thinking we should preview Bengals at Chiefs. Once upon a time, that was like the matchup. But then the Bengals lost to the Patriots, and by golly, that they have not earned this preview, so I'm not doing it.
Haven't they started slow every year, the Bengals? That seems to be a trend now.
I saw earlier where they're 1-5
Yeah.
in 1 in the Joe Burrow era.
Yeah,
And the
that's
one
crazy.
win was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, great. There goes my pick. There goes my Super Bowl pick for this year. Shoot!
I don't know whether to blame the all orange uniform or his hideous hair for whatever curse the Bengals were operating under to lose to the Patriots, but they've got some things to exercise.
Mm-hmm. I still believe in
All right,
them
well-
winning the AFC, but, well, probably not. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you need them to win the AFC for your pick?
I
I can't remember our
do.
picks. It's
I
been like
do.
a week and a half, and I'm like, I don't even know. That's something stupid. And the Eagles, I think was what did I do? Eagles, Chiefs.
I think so. I
And you
said
did
Lions.
Bengals,
I said
Lions?
Lions, Bengals. Yep. Mm-hmm. That does seem
That
forever
would be
ago.
fun. The all hapless cat franchise bowl.
Hapless cat friends.
Like
Nice.
I am all for the tortured fan bases play each other Super Bowl. We need more of these because the drama is would be just through the roof in the 2-week buildup.
Aren't they eating hapless cats
Can we
in
get
Ohio
a
now,
Browns
too?
Vikings next? Like who else hasn't won one besides the?
Yeah.
Keep going through it.
Jaguars.
All right, take
Yeah,
it
they gotta
away,
get in there
sir.
somewhere. All right, thanks everyone for listening to this episode of Barely Educated. Find our website, buymeacoffee.com/barely_educated. Join our honor roll for $3 a month. We'll send you a Barely Educated t-shirt as a thank you. Please like and subscribe to our show. We'd love if you could give us a rating so more Bears fans can start listening. We will talk to you after the Bears face the Texans sometime early next week. Mark, have a great visit with your family. Everyone else, bear down.
Davis Jones.
Miss Clumsy.
That insolent blackguard.
I think he's a bum.
And that's a real shame.
The Bears.
I love the Bears.